What is up, guys? It's Austin from the Normal Investor here, bringing you another market update. This week I'm mainly going to be talking about some meme stocks like AMC and also stocks that are highly shorted that I think are going to get a pump because of that. And keep this in mind, this is all my personal advice. Please follow your own trading strategy and do not use this as your personal investing advice. And if you're interested, please join my Discord channel in the description for my real-time buy and sell alerts. And keep in mind, it's all free. And let's get right into it. Let's get right into it, guys. As you guys know, I always look at the SPY and QQQ before getting into any trades. SPY is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, and QQQ is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. And you guys, you need to know where the overall market's going the next week and know where the support and resistance is at before you get into any trade, because if the market sells off or skyrockets off of a bounce, you need to know where those are so you know when to get into a call, when to get an option, or if you're bullish or if you're bearish on the stock. So first thing we have SPY. We broke out last Monday into the above 418 area, and the rest of the week we traded between there and around 420 to 421. And on Friday we broke out 421 area and we pulled right back in, and we're now sitting at around 420.04. And it looks like we might retest that level, but we could very well pull back down to 418. So just be watching that. Like I said, it's been trading pretty religiously through that channel. And as for QQQ, let me pull that up, zoom in on this chart. We had a great week, and as you can see here, this is the 180-day chart. We have been trading between the 180-day SMA and this 334 level, and we are sticking right in between that. And we tried to break out Friday and we pulled back. And same thing with the SPY. I think we could go back to retest that, or we could have a pullback down to that 331 level at the bottom where that 180-day SMA is. And if we break that, we very well could be going back down to 326 area. So be watching those levels on the SPY and QQQ. So before we get into my stock picks, guys, let's look at earnings this coming week. On Monday, as you know, the market is closed, and on Tuesday we have CGC, that's Canopy Growth Corporation, that is reporting earnings before opening. And as you can see here, we have a high of 56.5. Actually, last earnings we had a huge pop here, and we've sold off since then. And right now we're sitting at 26.14, but it is looking like we're starting to pull up. It's probably for news of this earnings coming up, and I could see us having a nice little spike up come Tuesday, and this thing could go pretty high, especially since this is one of the biggest players in the marijuana sector. So be watching out for this one, and just realize that this is happening if you do hold shares of CGC. The other one that is on Tuesday is ZM, and it is after close. And guys, this one has just been beat down since its high of 588, and we hit a low of 270, and we've been going up since then, probably in anticipation for this earnings. But this is a very crucial earnings in my opinion, because CV is getting close to over and places are starting to open back up. But I think that's the bear case, that not as many people are going to be using ZM. But personally, guys, I think a lot of these big companies, now that they've experienced all these online meetings and stuff like that, they're looking to continue using it instead of flying people out to meet it in other places. And this is probably a big money saver for some of these big businesses. So I'm expecting decent numbers, probably better than what most people are expecting. But if it does have those numbers, I could see the stock having a nice little pop on that. But it very well could sell off. You never know with earnings. But be watching out for this one, again, if you do hold stocks. Alright, guys, and there's no stocks it's just extremely excited about as far as earnings on Wednesday. But for Thursday, after close, we have CHPT, which is ChargePoint. If you don't know what that is a EV charging company. And I'm extremely bullish on those, just because as the EV market grows, you're going to have more charging stations to replace gas stations. And this thing has been beat down pretty bad. Yes, it is a growth stock like the other ones I previously mentioned, but I think this one has a lot of real world uses coming up, and a lot of that growth could be not priced in yet. So be watching that. We've kind of been trading in a little bit of a wedge here, but we have been breaking out the last couple of days, and I think you could see more of a breakout as this earnings approaches. So be watching CHPT, and hopefully we have some good numbers. If we do not, you could see a pretty big sell-off, but if you do, this stock's going to react pretty aggressively to it. All right, now let's get what everyone's been waiting for, AMC and GME. If you haven't been watching last week, AMC has just been going berserk. And GME has as well, but not near to the extent AMC is, and that is what everyone is talking about. So I have GME pulled next to AMC here, and this was January of this year where I have GME pulled up, and I just want you to look at the similarities these two graphs have. On GME, this is around January 22nd, we had our first little squeeze right here, and then we had a sell-off, and then we had our next squeeze, and then we had another sell-off right here, and then we had our real squeeze, what everyone was talking about as far as GME going into the $300, $400, $500 range. And I want you to look at AMC here. So we had our squeeze at the beginning of the week, and it looks very similar to this one. And then we had our minor sell-off here like we did here, and then we had our next pump as we had here, and then look at this dips we have here. Look at this long wick that we had on this red candle. Look at this one right here that we had on GME. And then we started having some green after that, guys. And the same thing, Monday is closed for us this coming week. So Monday here we started seeing those green, and then Tuesday is where we blast off. And guys, market opens Tuesdays, and my opinion is all weekends, as far as Wall Street Bets and all the other YouTubers, are going to be hyping this AMC stock up. And I think come Tuesday at open, I think we see this stock skyrocket. Also, all the short sellers are going to be talking about and seeing that hype, and I think it might call some of them to cover their short. So be watching this one. You could see another GME. It also could sell off like crazy, but guys, I'm pretty bullish, and I think this AMC could be heading to $50 come next week if the right things happen and these people start covering. But I think there's a lot of hype going into this, and if Tuesday, if we start off green, this thing could be very well going to $50, and you could see another GameStop situation happening. Now, with all the talk in the air of shorts and meme stock, guys, my picks this week are not going to be stocks I'm looking to hold long term. They're stocks I'm looking to benefit off of this talk about AMC and people trying to find highly shorted stocks, but they're also going to be companies that I'm pretty bullish on, that I would be willing to hold a little longer, but not stocks like I think that are just going in the grave, that people are just going to hype up because of the name and the old age of the stock, for instance, like BlackBerry or something like that. But my first one I'm watching, guys, is Workhorse. And if you don't know what that is, it is a EV company that's looking to make delivery vans for people. And right up here, when we hit $42, guys, this stock was anticipating having a contract with USPS for the government, and it didn't get it. And as you can see, guys, we went from $42 all the way to a low of $7 after that contract didn't happen. And ever since then, the shorts took a lot of advantage of that. And guys, this stock is over 40% short interest. So if we could get some good news, or you could get a community to rally behind this stock, you could see the shorts on this have to cover. And there's no telling what could happen with this stock. But let me zoom in a little bit on the 4. We have been up trending a little bit, and I'm looking for this stock to have a nice little squeeze if we could get some good news. And guys, the USPS contract, just because it didn't get it doesn't mean it's over this contract. There's a huge amount with the Green New Deal. There's a lot of opportunities where this could get a contract in the future, and guys, if that happens, this stock could go to the moon. My next stock, guys, is CLOV, which is Clover Health. This is a stock that's looking to change the healthcare field and wants to be like the new Medicare by using software that tracks patients' previous visits and makes it easier on doctors to diagnose and prescribe stuff. So I'm not going to get too much more into the company, but it is a bullish company of mine because, like I said, it deals with healthcare, and personally, I think our actual healthcare system is terrible how it is now. But be watching this one because it has a huge short float, and I'll post that right now. But be watching this one to have a short squeeze. And if you just look back at the past, look at these green candles that we have, especially through here. I'm expecting for us to see this happen again, and this thing could easily move $2 or $3 pretty quickly. So I would put this one on your radar and watch for this one. My next stock I'm watching for, guys, is SKLZ, and this is a extremely heavily shorted stock as well, but it's actually a stock I'm looking to hold long term. And what it is, it's a gaming app that allows you to bet against other players, but it's not just luck, it's actually skill-based games like card games that do take a little bit of skill to learn. and it allows you to bet against them, and you'll pay like 50 cents versus other person, and the winner will take 80 cents and skills will take like a 20 cents. And that's a quick summary. It's not just that simple, but the app makes a ton of money by just holding the money while two other people play a game against each other, and the winner gets 80% and skills gets 10 or 20% of that money. So very profitable company, and as y'all know where games are going, I think this could be a great app in the future where people bet a little bit of money against each other. And because everyone most everyone likes to gamble. Some people are lying if they say they don't, but be watching this one. It's just been beat down since its high of 46.3, and I'm sorry for all my lines on the chart, but we've been holding this around 1475 pretty good here, and we're still just at 1711. So guys, I think this one has a lot of potential for a squeeze like we saw around this area, but not just a squeeze. I think this is undervalued, and people like Kathy Woods have been buying this stock up at these lows. So be watching this one. This could be a great place to put some money into. And for good measures, guys, I'm going to throw in one more stock. And no, it's not a meme stock, and it's not a stock with just ridiculous short interest, but this is BABA. And I've talked about this stock in the past, but it is the Chinese Amazon per se. And the stock has just been beat down between growth stock and also all the fears with the Chinese company. And guys, we're still holding this bottom here, and we're holding it quite well. Let me zoom in on the 180-day chart over here. But yes, we are a little bit up from the lows, but nowhere close to where this stock could be. And guys, they're putting out good numbers still, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention if you're not watching it. Wall Street loves this stock. I could see this over time being huge like Amazon, and this thing has a lot more potential than where it is at right now. It really should be trading over $300, but this is a great price point to get in, and I don't see this going much lower. So be watching this stock. I think it's a great opportunity at this level, and just for a buy and hold for a long term, this is all going to pass. And as big as a company this is in China, this isn't going to get delisted, at least I don't think so, but it won't get delisted in my opinion, and I would be looking to buy into this, because as big as company this thing is and as much money, they're not going to delist this thing. So be watching out for this one. This is just an incredible deal, and I wanted to include it just since the rest of the market has popped off lately, the last couple of weeks from it selling off, and this stock just hasn't moved as much as the rest of the market, including NEO and stock like that are Chinese companies. They have a little bump, but not BABA. So I'm expecting to move on this in the near future, so just be looking out for this one. And that's it for my picks this week, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and just be careful this upcoming week. I know a lot of the stocks I'm talking about are just highly shorted stocks, and it's all speculation if it's gonna pop or not. So don't throw just a ton of your account into there if you do get into these positions. Trade with a smaller amount of money and be speculative about it, and take, if it does drop, just be ready to sell out of it. So don't allocate too much money to these positions, but it is fun every once in a while to see this happen, and I love the GameStop situation back in the day, and I think AMC, like I said, I do think it's going to squeeze next week, and we could see another huge GameStop situation, because I do believe that the money should transfer back to retail investors from these hedge funds and stuff like that, because they do what we are doing to AMC right now. So guys, again, be careful in the market. Please don't take any of this as your own investing advice, and do your own due diligence. Again, leave a comment if you have any questions, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great week, and let's make some money. Have a good one.